Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black.
Welcome back to the Unexpected Podcast. My name is KP, the voice of perspective.
And I'm Reese Boogie, Mr. Outside. Before we get started, I want to get into the sponsor. We have OST Liquor Store, black-owned liquor store, right in the great South of Houston, Texas, off OST. TSU alumni. Yeah. So if you're on the south side of town, make sure you stop by OST Liquor Store and get you a cup.
Also, we have Alto, the world's safest, cleanest, and highest quality passenger and vehicle delivery experience. They have given our listeners $100 credit towards your ride share. So that's Alto, HOU 100 as the promo code.
And everybody can use $100.
Get $100 credit.
Everybody can use $100.
Yes.
Now, before we get started, man, this is our third episode. This is our very first guest.
Yay!
Yes, let me give y'all a little bit. We got a motivational speaker. We got an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. We got a social media influencer. Mm-hmm. We got a jack of all trades. We got a marketing guru. Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, she own her own business. It's a release of Beast Marketing Company. She have do events every year, about 7 or 8 of them a year. Yeah, man. We got one of the top people in Houston. Yeah. Let's get started.
Welcome, Kay.
Hey, y'all. Thank you guys for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I couldn't have it no other way. You got to be the first guest.
Come on. Come through.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. Well, I am a serial entrepreneur. So as Reese stated, I do a lot of different things. One is I'm a motivational speaker. We're about to get ready to launch my first tour. Wow. We're going to start here in the city of Houston. It's a conference dedicated to women.
Yeah.
My focal point is really motivational speaking for women of color. And it's called Girl, Your Story Must Go On. So we got that going. I do a lot of affiliate things, Amazon selling and Fiverr and just different things. We have a landscaping company, just numerous. You guys will have to follow me and come to the conference to really get and understand, all the details. But our major thing is we have a promotion company here in Houston. And it's called Release the Beast Marketing. And what we do is we host a lot of festivals here. One of our major events is Houston's Black Girls Rock, Black Girls Social. And that's really, really big. We haven't been able to do it for the last year and a half because of the pandemic and COVID. But we're bringing it back this summer, ladies. So if you're watching, most of you probably already been to it. So let's get ready to get it popping.
Let's get started. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What made you want to just tap into the inner you as far as an entrepreneur? Because, a lot of people are scared to just jump out there and not work for nobody and all that type of stuff. What made you just want to do that?
Well, for me, it was mainly just faith. Like I've always just, been a risk taker. Yeah. So one thing my grandmother always taught me, like 2 things going to happen. Either it's going to work or it's not. And if it works, baby, it's gonna work. But if it don't, it's okay. It's gonna work later.
Right?
So I believe in the saying, you're never denied, you're usually delayed. And sometimes you're delayed.
Say that one more time, because some people can hear that.
Oh man, you are never sometimes denied.
Yes, sir.
It's just delayed. And that's because our timing is not God's timing. Yes. So you just gotta be patient and it will work. If you wanna be an entrepreneur now, everybody don't have the gift to be an entrepreneur.
I 100% agree.
That's one thing. You got to be willing to take a risk. I done slept on the floor many nights, broke, no food. So.
Yeah, a lot of people can't take losses too. So a lot of people are scared to take losses, and that's part of the problem of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I also think that a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what an entrepreneur is because you hear this time and time again where they're like, "Oh, well, I don't want to work for nobody." As an entrepreneur, you're working for your customers. Right. Like you're working for other people continuously.
You're working for yourself, and that's really more hours than working for somebody. You might do 8 or 10 hours for somebody, but for yourself,
you usually
that's 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you usually do. But the great thing about being an entrepreneur, I will tell you guys this, is that you have to be so good at your craft that you can choose your target market.
Yes.
So if you're so good at what you do and you don't want to deal with, hard customers, it's not like, it's somewhat not like a job. When somebody come in, it's like customers have it your way.
Right.
I don't do that. You come in, you're going to respect my policies. If you don't, I don't have to deal with you.
You don't.
Right.
So, continue to make your craft, the best thing you have, so that way you can choose.
What was your point in when you felt like, okay, this is my purpose?
Well, when I was 18 years old, I remember we was at my high school graduation.
Now I'm rapping a song. Take me back when I was 18 with a bankroll.
This is a distraction, right?
No, he 18. What happened?
DJ's height. So when I was 18, we were at the school. We were getting ready to go for graduation, and my counselor brought 3 of me and my best friends in, and she was like, well, what are y'all gonna do after this? What do y'all see yourself doing? So the first thing I said is, I ain't working for nobody. Back then, years ago, they're like, as black people, we're taught, go to college, finish high school so that you can work for somebody. That is the main goal. Yeah. Go to school, get good grades so that I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to work 60 hours, 40 hours. I don't want nobody to tell me when I got to pee, when I,
Hold on. Sound like you're in jail.
You got to raise your hand and clock out. And,
Are you in jail?
you got to log off.
Hey, somebody tell you got pee, you shouldn't be there. You're in the wrong spot anyway.
But yeah, so I told I was gonna be an entrepreneur, but everybody was like, girl, what back then in those days, people didn't even really know about entrepreneurship, especially not the black community.
Right. Yeah.
When you say you work for yourself, they're like, doing what? It was a joke. And so I started doing that.
So did people continuously tell you had the gift of gab or like inspiration? Is that what steered you into like holding conferences and things like that?
Well, what steered me into really wanting to get into the motivational speaker, I didn't see that for myself. So I didn't really see that portion of my life until I went through a really, really tragic event. And some people may know my story if they don't, but I had lost my 11-year-old son about 5 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So he had died unexpectedly. Like I tell people, he was just going to camp. And this is why I'm very big on living, your full purpose in life. Because it's not promised,
You never know your time.
So I didn't know his time. I took him to camp, and that day they called me, he passed away. But neither here nor there, it motivated me. I was always a motivational speaker, but I never seen that in myself. I would just encourage people like, hey, because I came from the bottom, so it was like, we could figure it out. But neither here nor there. When he passed, it kind of pushed me to just go harder and want more and just let other people know you can get up. Because the problem is that a lot of people, even to our viewers, a lot of people, they don't handle things how you may handle it. Yeah. So just because I can deal with grief, or I can deal with being broke, or I can deal with, just things that come in my life, heartbreak, doesn't mean that the next person.
But you got a niche for that. I know you, and I know you got a niche for that. You're going to always find another way to make sure that you're successful.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that is going back to your foundation, God, right? Like you learn resilience through the hope and the faith and the,
And then I grew up.
Where you from?
Baby.
Tell them where you from.
I'm from Rochester, New York. All my rock people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What up, son? I'm here, son.
So when I was growing up, I'm an '80s baby, so I grew up during the crack, the crack epidemic, and so my parents were on drugs, so I grew up with my grandmother, and when you grow up like that. I had no choice but to want to make it, because I felt like, I could have been in the streets. I could have been in a foster home.
Right. Yeah. Could have been dancing. You could have been dancing.
I could have been a prostitute. I could have moved to Houston. I could have did anything.
But you can't dance, so she could have been a dancer.
I could have hit the pole. No wrong. But I wasn't that gifted. So, I just always felt like I had to, go hard and grind. And like you said, it depends on your foundation and what you want. So that's really what it is.
Quick question for me. What brought you to Houston, though? Because the world is so big, you could have went anywhere. What said that you felt like I just have to go to Houston?
Well, I got to a point in my life I was being really successful where I was from. We were doing a lot of big parties, concert shows, and I was making a lot of money. But, I was just telling my husband this a few weeks ago, is that in that promotion lifestyle brings a lot of it can make you either good or bad. And meaning you become a part of that environment. So I was drinking a lot, you know, dealing with different people I probably shouldn't even have been affiliating and associating with. And so you just
That's
get
that
to
nightlife though.
That nightlife is a whole totally
It's a
different.
beast.
Yeah, it's a beast. So either you go.
I know.
Secret.
I'm Mr. Outside. Yeah,
It was
nightlife a beast.
basically what we touched on last time when he said that, you know, he had to start limiting people's access to him.
That's very, very important. And that was the case. You know, people have so much access to you. And then just your alcohol intake. You know, it was just becoming unhealthy. I'm drinking like 7 days a week, getting, you know, stoned.
But a lot of people scared to lose that though. That's what I'm saying. What brought it into you to say, you know what, I'm ready to start over? Because basically when you move to another city, you got to meet new friends. You got to do everything different and start over. So what made you want to lose that money to come out here and start over?
Well, you know, I've always believed that we have things. For me, I felt like it was okay to be ghetto rich, but I never wanted to be ghetto wealthy. I wanted to be.
Oh, that's deep.
I wanted
that's deep
what
right
we
there.
call it back home. I wanted to get Arab money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I wanted land, properties. I wanted real assets. You know, not just nice cars and purses and driving around. So I got to a point where I just said, God has better for me. Yeah. And if I can do this here, you know, I can make it anywhere. And so how it started, I had 5 girl best friends, like, you know how you see in the movies, all your girls. And I called them up one day. I said, hey, listen, let's get together. We're going to go to the park and pray. And when we go to the park,
you different.
We're gonna ask, hey, no, this is my brother.
I'm saying she different.
She is different, but it's a lot of women like that. I feel like it's just so watered down with the ones that's like,
probably social media. Probably social media.
Yes, the Instagram. I was an Instagram girl, you know. So I was like, listen, I'm very prayerful. So I'm like, girl, y'all, let's get together. Let's go pray at the park and see what God wanted to do for us because He has more. Well, long story, we all went to the park, prayed. They was all for it. They said, well, where we gonna go? And I was like, well, I was praying and God said Houston. So, you know, where I'm from, they like, what the hell is in Texas?
Look,
cowboys and boots.
Come on.
Cowboys and boots.
Image of Houston, like cowboys, horses, like everything spread apart to where nobody knows each other. Like,
and then they meet Philwar Reese and they know it's a party city.
Oh man.
They meet me, they know Houston is totally different.
So they was like, girl, what's in Houston? And then, you know, that's 2,000 miles where I'm from. It's like, what about our families? How we gonna get home? But I ain't care about none of that. I said, I'm just trying to get the hell out of here.
Right.
So we planned to leave for a year, but in that time, everybody dropped off.
Right.
Nobody ended up moving. You know,
you stayed afloat.
I stayed afloat. I stuck to the plan. I'm very big on sticking to the plan. Ooh. So before I got ready to leave, everything was going wrong. I invested into a show. I lost thousands of dollars. Like basically all my savings was gone because I'm a risk taker. So when I invested into the concert, I was like, you know, if I'm a hit, I'm gonna hit good. I'm gonna take this money and I'm going to the H. But I didn't hit. And so
I just knew that about to go the other way. I just knew she was about to say I hit.
I hit. I took a loss. So now I'm up here with from thousands a couple $100. I'm like, man.
You still took that risk.
And I had just bought a brand new Benz at the time. Man, it started, you know, it was just mad stuff going on. Like everything I could think of. I was dealing with issues at the time. Many women probably can relate when you decide to relocate and, you know, you have a child, you have to deal with the back and forth with the parents and the disagreement. And it was just so much. So we're fighting about leaving the child and I had to deal with that. So much. But neither here nor there, I packed my car.
You pack your car?
You drove?
Yeah, so I was supposed to get everything
shipped. How nigga do that?
I was supposed to get my car shipped, but I was broke now. So I couldn't even afford to put the car on the tray. But I still stuck to the plan. Yeah. So I said, you know what? I got about 6 black garbage bags and whatever I can fit. And at that time, I owned my own home. I was 22. At that time, I had bought my house at 22. I paid my house off. And I rented it out. And I just packed my car and I left. And I put in Houston, Texas in my navigation and I started driving. Baby, I drove.
That's a drive.
18. Yeah, I drove 18 hours myself. And I had took 2 Red Bulls. So I'm starting to shake. And my grandma like, pull
I ain't
over.
driving to the north side.
Man, I don't drive nowhere
I stay on
now.
south side now. I ain't driving to the north side. That shit too far. You drove 18 hours? To change your career, you tough.
I drove it. Baby, listen, I was so broke. I had to stay at this little raggedy motel with, you know, the motels that be in the movies. That
I don't know.
dirty,
I don't know.
You know, the $20 motel.
I used to get the one with the jacuzzi. And they had the one jacuzzi. You pay extra $20, you get the one jacuzzi.
You pay per hour.
Yeah. The one over at
the one with the jacuzzi and the pole. You get a pole too.
But yes, so I stayed in one of those, but neither here. And when I got here, what was so crazy is I was supposed to have an apartment. But the person I met was supposed to be a realtor and set me up. But man, the apartment was like roach infested. Like, bro, when I pulled up, you know, it was
I'm saying that you came from big ass rats.
No, not where I grew up.
You came from New York.
No, it wasn't that. No. Yeah. My grandma,
y'all got the biggest rats.
Let me clear this up. I was middle class. You know, I didn't grow up poor, man. We had a little money in my house.
You heard what P. Diddy said about the roaches on his face? He said he woke up like 8 roaches on his face and changed his life.
Oh,
you didn't see that?
No.
I would say P. Diddy say that changed his life. He said he woke up with like 8 roaches on his face. He said, I'd never do this again.
Nah, I'm telling you.
I'm saying roaches might change your life. Don't do that.
I said, I'm gone, baby. So this lady I knew, she took me in through a young girl I met, Deanna. So a girl named
What's
Deanna.
Up, Deanna? Shout out to Deanna.
Shout out to D. You know what I mean? I never even knew her, and she heard that I had moved out here to Houston because I was really popular at home. So she knew, like, okay, moving out
She's from
there.
East Coast too, huh?
Yeah, we're from the same place. So she was like, she called me to check on me, like, hey, how you doing? I was crying, and I never cry. Yeah. Like, I'm strong. If I'm gonna cry, like, even when my son passed, people was like, touching me, like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, but crazy. I couldn't cry. Now I'm crazy. So neither here nor there, the lady took me in. She let me stay with her, and that was the lowest point I had ever been. Yeah. At that point, I was basically almost homeless, and I was down bad. And I was like, God, bro? You tricked me. Like, you know what I mean? This wasn't part of the plan. I'm okay with struggling, but I'm almost homeless.
Like, people say don't question God, but you was like, what's up?
I was questioning him at that point because I'm in a new city, and I don't, from when you leave your comfortable place, you have people that's not wishing for your good.
Right.
So that's another thing to our viewers is that you got to understand that not everybody is praying for your success.
Oh, yeah. Preach.
And just because they're acting like they're rooting for you, they're undercover. Like, for me, it was more like, she'll be back. She's not going to make it. She can't do it. So I wasn't trying to be great for the people who was praying against me. Right. I was trying to be great for the people who was praying for me.
Yeah.
So for the people who wanted me to succeed, I needed to succeed.
Yeah.
So I ended up staying with them, get my own apartment. Many times I had eviction notices on the door, maybe 1 or twice, but I made it through.
Yeah.
And I bought a laptop down here, and I just started learning how to do things on my own, and I just started meeting people, going places, and people started taking to me. And when they started taking to me, I was just like,
when I met you, man, you was full of life. We was at Swagger, man.
Swagger,
man. Turned up, man. That's how I met her. Y'all know I'm a people person. When I met her, man, it was just like energy. It was a different ball of energy. And it's been the same ever since I've been known. It's been like 4 years now?
Yeah. 4 years.
Going on 4 years. Yeah. And
he thinks he's my favorite,
Yeah, I am a favorite, I'm a favorite brother.
Yeah.
But she well respected in the city, and I like to be outside with her because she remind me of myself, but in the woman form, as far as the respect we get, the love we get, we can go anywhere in the city and we okay. So, that means
and that means a lot.
Especially when you ain't from here.
Especially when you're not from a place. And see, my thing was when I got to Houston, I didn't really, and I mean this in the most sincere way. My goal wasn't to be part of Houston's clique or part of their. I didn't care about.
You ate time to the bone now. I ain't never heard you say that about you. No, you be in a club like this now.
Right, I'm in a club doing a Fillmore side.
She be in a club like that now. Yeah, she definitely from the city.
I'm yelling YouTube. I'm not
She ain't gonna call the shit. The club doing new.
But seriously, I didn't want to be. People say you got to hang with these people or you need to go and spend this money. I'm like, man, I'm broke. I'm not about to go and spend the money I don't have to impress people I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I did is I made a lane for myself.
That's what you got to do.
Everybody was like, well, you got to hang with this promotion company and you need to get on. At that time, they had Aristocrat Life was really popular. So you got to get on with Aristocrat Life to make it or you won't make it. Now I made it, and and nothing
You
against
did.
them,
You're
you know what I'm saying? But I created my own lane.
Yeah.
For what people didn't have. Right. And it was more so, I created other more event styles versus club style.
Yeah. I've been to a few of your events,
because
man.
it might work for them, and if that's not your path, then you're
no. And I didn't want to work for nobody. That you got to understand. My mindset was I didn't want to.
What was your first job when you got to Houston?
Oh man, when I first got to Houston, they had me working. They ain't had me. And the money had me. I was working. I was making $8 an hour, working like a
tough. When she moved from New York, making all that money, she out here making $8 an hour.
Man, that was a humble.
That's McDonald's. She didn't want to tell you. She was out there with the machines weren't working for a little bit.
I was broke. And I tell people sometimes, it was many times I had to go in that closet and do the closet prayer. Yeah. If you know anything about grandmothers, when you go to that closet, you like, man, God.
Just break down, baby.
Look, they about to come take my car. I'm hiding out, trying to hide out. But it works. If you stick to the plan and you're able to go through struggle, you can overcome it. Tough times only last a season.
Yeah.
And that's my big thing is that sometimes we don't, but a lot of people don't want to go through that season.
Yeah.
That season could be a month.
They do everything that they can to try to avoid going through tough times, which is cool. Like, that's preparation. Yes. But at the same time, it's inevitable that you're going to go through something.
Oh, you're going to.
Yeah.
If you're going to be successful, you're going to definitely go through something. Yeah. So.
I'm feeling it. I know what you're talking about.
About your conference, what is like the biggest takeaway that you want women to like take away from?
Yeah. Well, for me, I would love for women to take away understanding their story must go on. Mm-hmm. And the key thing to that subject is we as women hold on to things that we should not still hold on to. Woo! We've, let's say, heartbreak or bad relationships.
Or jobs.
Since you mad at a man from 9 years ago and the relationship didn't work, he cheated on you, he may have done a bunch of things.
Black men don't cheat.
Yes, they do.
Black men don't
you're
cheat.
Still holding on to that anger, to every relationship you get in. You're like, well, he did me like this. You're still so broken. And you got to let that go so you can heal. Like you said, jobs. Yeah. I worked there for 5-10 years and they fired me. You got to move on from that job. Like, just let things go. So that's my main thing is I want women to understand, grief, life, depression.
Yeah.
I've been through depression, when I was grieving. I was telling my friends and my husband, like, before I met anybody, I had to go through grieving alone because I was out here by myself.
Right.
So I didn't have my brothers, my sisters. So I lost my son. Now I'm in Houston. I really don't have any friends, no relationship. And there were times I was depressed for days, weeks. Like, I would lay on my bathroom floor for 3 to 4 days at a time.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. I don't want to cut you off, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So what made you not say, I can't do this no more, I'm going back to New York?
Well, because again, I believe God doesn't send us back to that place. He elevates us.
It's all spiritual with you.
Yeah, it's very spiritual with me. So that's my first thing is that his goal, he has plans for us. I know the plans he has for me, plans for me to prosper.
You gotta trust him.
You have to trust him. And so throughout these things, it's going to test your faith, right? So you're going to, I was grieving, broke, all these things. But if you stick to the plan, I will bless you. And so that was for me. It was like, why go back? If I don't went through all this, I ain't going back. Right. That's just the way it is.
That's similar to, I think, me and him talked about some of the challenges we had. And when I moved away, I went through a fire.
Where you from? Tell everybody where you from. Let them know.
From Houston. What you talking about?
What part of Houston, though? Tell them where you from. They don't know too much about you. So what part of Houston, though? What part of Houston, though?
The Southwest. But that is not what I was talking about. I'm talking about, okay, so when I moved away to Kansas City.
Right.
I went through a fire and lost everything, but that was like during my first months of being there. And I was just like, everybody was like, that would have been a sign for me to go back home. But for me, it's like, no, like this is my learning experience that I came out here for. This is what, I was supposed to go through so I can learn how to be independent, that was my whole goal of moving to Kansas City. And here it is slapping me in my face. What would I look like if that was my goal to go run back and go?
It's easy to quit. Yeah. That's the easy part. Give it up is easy. Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, what influence do you have for the entrepreneurs that's coming up You know what I'm saying? As far as moving away or chasing your goals or whatever they got going on in life that they want to do. Like, what do you have for them to say that? Really, both of y'all, because you moved too, and you was able to take care of yourself in a different city.
For me, you know, I'll tell, and when people say they moving to Houston, I say, okay, good luck. You know, you can get sucked in. You know,
I say the same
May
thing.
God bless
Good
you.
luck.
You know, good luck, because you can get sucked into the party life here. You know, we have, from when I moved here, you know,
Shit, I'm from here. I get sucked into it.
Houston is a totally different place than it was 6 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know, it has grown so fast in these 6 years.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, you know, whatever your goal is, you can't come here and get sucked into the party life.
Yep.
Because, hey, you gonna drown, you can't swim.
Yep.
And I've had people move here, and I tell them, they're like, oh, you're different, or you're not the same person that we knew home. No, I don't want to be that same person.
Nope.
And I don't.
You're not supposed to be.
You're not supposed to.
I done seen a few of them conversations, so I get what you coming.
Yeah, you know, so right. So you have to change in order to grow. That's the part of growth, is changing. And so I tell any entrepreneur,
And you're thriving.
You're thriving. You have to be focused. And you know, shout out to Glamorous Hustle. If they're watching this podcast, that's where I started.
They will be, cause we just getting started, but they will.
Yeah,
be.
I'm gonna make sure they watch with us today. But that was one of the girls groups, and I met them when I first got here, and we started this little group, and it was so cute and dope. And you know, I would always tell them, you know, I was different in the aspect of I knew I had a plan.
Yeah.
And even though they want, let's go out, let's go to this party, I would never go, because I felt like I'm so good at what I do. I don't need to be in that environment.
And,
you know, I need to sit here and focus. So I would spend hours perfecting my craft, you know, knowing what I needed to do. So that's just my thing I tell entrepreneurs is you got to know the difference between what you want and how bad you want it.
And invest in, like, spend your time investing in what you actually want to return on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to spend time out and about, at least be connecting, networking, something. Or if you just out there just shooting the shit, then you're really wasting your time where you could.
I was a shit shooter for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But I done tapped into something else, so I'm busy
But I
now.
want to go back to, you said you spent some time alone, right?
Yes.
And so it's crazy because one of our questions that the viewers asked was, is it necessary to be alone for a period of time in order for you to grow as a person, professionally, and like in love? Yes.
For me, what I did is I just removed myself from everybody and everything. Meaning,
That's tough.
when I left home, I stopped answering numbers that was from home. If they
So you
if
went
my
into
area,
solitude.
yeah, because I had to focus. And a lot of times, what we don't understand is
man.
you got to focus because people bring in those spirits from their life to your life. Meaning, if I get a phone call and somebody wants to gossip about somebody else or something that's going on, I don't care. Yeah. I don't live there no more. I don't go to these places. I don't affiliate with these people. So, and nobody there can help me. You know what I mean? So it's like, why continue to keep having these conversations?
That's strong. That's a strong person.
It doesn't serve you at all.
It doesn't serve me. Yeah. So my goal was I needed to stay focused on where I needed to be. And so I just stopped. I went into solitaire, like you said. When I met people here, I chose the type of people I wanted to network with. And to be honest, it was people with money.
Or at least knew how to get
they knew how to, because there's a difference. What we got to understand, you see people that pretend and look like they have money. And in what I learned in Houston and doing business, there's a lot of pretenders. Until it's time for them to pay the invoice, you know, it's a lot of pretenders.
Money.
But being a woman coming from another state, because, you know, I deal with a few women that come from other states.
Yeah.
And so when you out and about and you know you on entrepreneurship and all that type of stuff, is it you chasing men? Like, are you in sections? Are you with the bottles? Are you? Because a lot of people, they be with a lot of men,
right,
to get what they it's like a come up. They gotta be with a man to get a come up. Or were you in that lifestyle? Or
no,
were you just
no. So I dated men, but it wasn't because in that lifestyle. Again, remember, I left that lifestyle, and wasn't a part of my plan.
Right.
So I didn't come from being broke. You know what I mean?
I don't want to cut y'all. I just want to let a lot of women know y'all don't have to come out here to have sex. be in the sections, show face, do whatever you gotta do. Hold on, I'm just saying.
They do what they
y'all ain't gotta do all that to have a come up. You don't have to do that to have a come up. That's all I want to let people know.
A word from Reese in honor of Women's History Month. Like,
don't get the wood to get it understood. Don't get the wood to get it understood.
Let me get back on topic.
But no, you don't have to. You do whatever works for you as a woman.
Off of that, like, I want to really make sure that people understand, like, you have to know yourself, right? Like, when it comes down to whether you're feeling like it's necessary, if you had to ask this question, 9 times out of 10 is necessary for you to be alone because you're feeling that way, right? Like, so you will have to be alone in order to figure out what it is that you like, you want to do. However, if you're a person of strong will, you may not have to be alone per se, but you have to know how to set boundaries and remove yourself from situations that don't serve you.
That's true. That's a major thing. That's a great point. Moving yourself from situations that don't serve you, and
you talked about
hold
that.
On. Yes. I don't want to cut y'all off again, but she have great points.
Yeah, she on it today, y'all.
She like my therapist on site. Look, that's my fucking therapist on site. You know what I'm saying? PB Reese Johnson, he said, Reese, you got a therapist, you got a podcast. I'm like, I don't know the fuck.
Yes,
it's whatever you need it to be. Okay.
But as far as being alone, alone sometimes, like you said, doesn't always mean and you have to be by yourself. But alone sometimes can also mean clearing your mind. And what that means is just focusing on your ultimate goal. Yeah. And when you're focusing on your goal, I'm going to tell you this. You do have to remove yourself from certain paces, certain things. I was telling a friend, everybody calls me their counselor or whatever. We joke about it. So I was telling a friend the other day, I said, he was asking about relationships and, you know, he's getting older and why he can't find someone and this and this and that. Huh? And I told him, you know what happens? It was not him. We usually attract who we are inside, right? Secretly, we think we change or who we want to be. Right. There you go. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times, right, as for me, when I wanted to settle down or I wanted to be better, I had to really look inside myself and say, okay, you want a relationship, you want a marriage, you want to be so successful or great, but have you worked on those things that's inside you? And you can work on them all day, but until you master them and clean your mental out, it's not even just your mental, it's your spiritual. Yeah. Because you attract these type of people and things.
Hey, I got a thing. Do you feel like, as far as women or men, whatever the case may be, that they should get a therapist?
I think therapy is very
imperative.
In
the black community, it's kind of it's watered down. You know,
if I didn't see a therapist, I don't know if I would have kind of survived.
And I got one too last year, like around June or July. I wound up talking to a therapist. She was an old friend from college, but she got into it. Yeah, she got a license for it. Yeah. And that have helped me out completely. So, but a lot of people are scared of that, especially where we come from.
Yes. It's always good to have an unbiased person that you can literally talk to. Like, because a lot of times, like we talked about on one of the other episodes, men don't have spaces.
Men don't cheat.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we talking about men don't cheat again.
Men don't have spaces in order to like vent and just take a load off, you know, like, and even if they do, if they find it in their woman or in their best friend, they still have to perform in a sense to make sure that they don't feel like they're being judged.
Black men is this is what it is with us. This is our therapy. Let's go out.
Yes.
But it's not therapy.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
No, but I'm saying that's our therapy though. Let's go out. Let's get a drink. You want a hookah? You want a drink?
Right.
You want this and that?
If your boy going through something,
at the whole time, we ain't really had a conversation about what I'm going through.
Y'all avoiding it.
No, I'm saying because y'all would think, man, I'm going through something, man. Me and baby just had a fight at the house. Man, fuck it.
Oh, it's okay.
Nigga be like, fuck it, let's go have a drink.
Right.
So we get there, have a drink, and nigga done forgot about everything I came there for. We just start partying.
Or now it's like they smoke. Like they smoke to kind of relax.
I mean, not just smoking. People pop pills. That's you though, but a lot of people pop pills. Yeah. They find, drugs is another form of easing your pain. But yes, it's just so many ways of
dealing with. Like, hey, if you smoke recreational, smoke. However,
you smoke crack, we ain't
feel
fucking
like
with you.
you have to take care of your problems or they're just gonna persist outside of that high.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you
know,
gonna have to deal with it.
When I was grieving, I kind of, it helped me slow down on drinking because what I noticed is that when I started drinking,
that's different.
What?
Because you was grieving and you slow down. Most people grieving, they pick up liquor.
No, and that's what I'm saying. But so what I noticed is that when I started drinking, grieving, it started to make me think suicidal thoughts. It made me fall into a deeper depression. It made me sad. And so I would drink, but I knew, okay, at this point, if I take one more sip, I'm gonna be on the phone crying all night. Mm-hmm. And so that's just understanding and learning, who we are and, how we handle things. So
I respect you, man. I know.
Definitely.
I know
but y'all fellas, the therapy, deherapy everybody needs. Go lay on them people chair. Mm-hmm. Go lay on them people chair. Talk to them because like you said, it's so great knowing that you can just vent and talk to somebody that's not going to call somebody
or judge you or just
like,
have,
what such and such going through. Yeah. When you leave that room, that's your safe place.
And I don't want people to get deterred when they go for the first time and it don't feel right. Yeah. Like
it's not gonna ever feel right.
No. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna feel right the first time.
Yeah, even with my therapist, it don't feel right.
But you also have to be like, you have to make sure you find somebody that works with you. If you can't relate to this person or their style or their techniques, you might need to just find a
black men
person.
Feel like they therapists or whoever they talk to, like the feds. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause I'll be talking to mine, I'll be like, man.
Well, just for people who may not know, therapists have a license where there's a confidentiality statement that both of y'all signed at the beginning.
Yes.
That they cannot share your information.
No, I'm just saying.
And a lot of people, a lot of insurances doesn't cover your therapy. Mm-hmm. So that's one key thing we got to understand is that some do.
That's crazy though.
Some don't, right? So a lot of people don't go to therapy because they have to pay out of pocket. But I'm gonna tell you, I went to a company, and they're not a sponsor, but y'all need to be a sponsor when I shout y'all name out. Mm-hmm. But don't say their name.
No, we ain't saying that.
It's good for people to know. No, okay, don't say their name. Yeah. But I went
we ain't giving no regulation here. No.
I went online to this company I found, and the great thing about them is they ask you questions, what you're looking for. Would you want a spiritual? You want somebody non-spiritual? All these different things, black, white, what culture. They ask you these things, and they link you with a counselor. Yeah. And they also offer you financial aid. So, that's something if you guys are interested in, you can always contact them. I'll leave the information.
Hey, man, I wonder if it was the same ones I was with, because they did the same shit to me.
Yeah.
And they never sent me nobody.
They didn't? No. I went through it by myself, and then me and my husband, we went through counseling too with them.
I ain't never sent nobody.
Oh, man.
I'm still mad about that.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
Also,
come on, let's get into it.
This just reminded me,
let's get to the game.
Dang. He's pimping you today.
Dang. This is very important, though. I want people to know. I don't know if any women are going through any type of domestic abuse or anything like that. Our tax dollars, as well as our dollars for court fees, go towards a program called victims compensation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it allows victims, as long as you file a police report, you can relocate. They'll pay for your relocation. They'll pay for your stay. They'll pay for, your stipend to make sure you and your kids are good. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give that information.
I've heard that program before. That's great.
Because I didn't know that until a couple of years ago when I started working with the Parents Foundation. And that was the first time. And I felt like that was a really good, all you have to have is a police report. So that's good. Okay.
You niggas quit beating on these women too.
Man,
I'm just say that. I'm a real nigga. I come outside and see you. You heard?
Scared to come outside.
So I want to.
Oh man, it's about to be crazy, y'all.
I want to put them through a test. Like, we're gonna play a little bit of women's history, hip hop trivia, and you don't have to drink. This is how we gonna do it, though. If you get an answer wrong, Reese got a drink.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. He's gonna do my drinking for me.
Hey, anybody know me? They know I'm down for the. I want to lose more than win.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first question.
All right.
First, let me hop out the mud porch. I don't want it. Don't sit like a horse.
Okay.
Okay, first question. Which female rapper wrote UNITY in 1993 to promote women empowerment?
Queen Latifah.
Ooh, ding, 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 ding.
That's easy.
Money.
See, I knew you was going to get
Girl, I don't know how much more I'm going to get. Come on.
Number 2, which is not one of Nicki Minaj's albums.
Oh, man.
A, Playtime is Over.
She ain't gonna get this.
B, The Pink Prince. C, Queen. Or D, Black Friday.
A.
It's D, man.
Playtime is over.
It's D.
Playtime is over.
Take a shot.
It ain't D.
It's Black Friday, D.
I thought
Right.
you had Black Friday.
It's a D. Listen.
So take a shot,
Wait,
right?
I ain't a Nicki Minaj fan like that, but I know everything she do is pink. So it's Pink Fridays. It ain't Black Friday. Come on.
Do I get a
take your
lifeline?
shot. No, it's okay.
I'm
You can take a
gonna
shot.
take it for you.
Look, it'll keep
I
them
just know
quiet
it was
over
Pink
there.
Friday, though.
Let me
Oh,
take a
man.
You remember how I was like Pink Friday, Pink?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So wait,
talking
no.
Black
So
Friday.
the answer is Black Friday because that's
Oh, the answer
wasn't one of her
You was
album
wrong.
names.
You try to still
go
figure out me
on.
wrong. Like, yo, you was wrong.
trying to
I'm
figure
taking a
this
shot.
out,
You take a
man.
shot. Go ahead.
I should have checked your shot because I feel like you ain't had that much.
Go ahead.
Okay. Number 3. Which artist was featured in Terror Squad's 2005 hit song "Lean Back"
she definitely
with
don't know
Fat
that
Joe?
Wait, say it again.
Which artist was featured in a female artist? Was featured,
Oh, Remy Ma.
There you go. Ding 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 ding.
I
ding.
appreciate
back.
that. Real talk.
Lean back.
That shot was strong.
Okay.
A bit.
Okay. Number 4. You might want to pour up. Who released popular songs in the early 2000s such as "Let Me Blow Your Mind," "Who's That Girl," and "Love Is Blind"?
Who's that girl? Ease that girl.
So who it is though?
I thought it was Eve.
Yeah.
I need you to say it though.
Come on, man.
So I'm good.
Messed up her little
Hey, I'm still good though. Huh?
alley.
I ain't gotta take a shot. I'm
Okay.
good.
Number 5.
Keep them coming, baby.
Who put their thing down, flipped it, and reversed it?
Oh, man. That threw me
That
off.
sounds freaky.
But wait.
I might know this.
Wait. All the while encouraging us to get our freak on in the early 2000s.
Missy Elliott.
Oh man, I fuck with you. Yeah, I fuck
Where
with
my
you.
husband at, Mom? You doubted me.
All right. Number 6. This pour your shot.
You said it last time. I believe in her. At this point, I believe in her.
All right. You want to make it a double?
He needed
I already got a double. What the fuck? Go ahead.
Rapper, model, actress Inga DeCarlo Fung Marchand is best known as, this is multiple choice, okay? Who?
I don't know none of them people.
Oh, man.
It's not a black ass.
Foxy Brown. B, Trina. C, Lil Mama. Or D, Eve.
Repeat the
Ask the question again.
Okay.
He said,
Rapper, model, actress Inga DeCarlo Fung Marchand is best known as.
Keyword is
Who the
model.
fuck is Marchand? Hey, I need.
That's their real name.
I'm gonna go with Mary J.
Wait,
Blige.
that's all one name?
Yes. That is one real name.
Well, you on your own
So
this
it's
one,
A,
bro.
Foxy Brown.
Are you on your own this one?
B,
Foxy wasn't no model.
B, Trina.
All actress.
Nope.
Reese,
Trina
I'm
wasn't.
about to
I'm
cut
just
your mic
saying.
off.
I gotta take the shot. I gotta take the shot. Go ahead. I'm
Let him try. A, Foxy Brown. B, Trina.
Okay.
C, Lil Mama. Or D, Eve.
I need a lifeline.
Dun, 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 dun,
Jordan?
dun, 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 dun.
Time's up. Man, this show ghetto. I need a lifeline.
What you got? What you got?
Eve. Check your
That ain't what I told you. Yeah.
He said Lil Mama.
I got a question. I said Lil Mama.
Drink.
Hey, was it Lil Mama?
shot.
No, I got a question.
Who was it?
Was it Lil Mama?
Foxy Brown.
Foxy started modeling?
Yes.
Foxy.
I ain't never seen Foxy.
I've seen Foxy in some shoots now.
I think you made that shit up.
She was the first dark rapper.
You need to take a shot for
people
me.
was like,
I never knew
you
she
need-
modeled.
no.
Shot.
no.
I don't want to hear nothing
Come on,
else until
hold
you
on.
take a shot.
Did you walk
That
the
was a hard
runway?
one.
Did she walk the runway?
Yeah, put that.
Huh?
Did she walk a runway?
No, but you don't have to be.
All right.
You
Was
can
she
be a
on the
print
cover of a
model.
magazine?
I don't know. Probably, yeah.
Oh man, that's her name. Yeah.
See? Boom. Take
Wow,
the shot.
I didn't know that. I can imagine how hard
Thank
it
you
was
for
for
the
her
fact check.
You got another
to spell that name.
All right.
Okay.
Second to last one. Who was the first solo female rapper to release a full album? A. Yo-Yo. B. Missy. C. The Brat. Or
Shit
D.
crazy.
MC Light.
Foxy was fine though.
I need another lifeline. Okay, the first rapper to release an album.
First solo female rapper to release a full album.
Get the names again so she can.
A. Yo-Yo. B. Missy. C. The Brat. And D. MC Light.
It wasn't the Brat. I give you that one now.
We not asking
She younger
you.
than them.
We are not
The
asking.
Bright did features, right?
But
We are not asking you.
solo
Ray.
album.
Solo album.
Solo. What I'm saying is she younger than them. Don't worry about the Brat. Focus on the rest of them.
Okay, give me the names one more time. I'm sorry.
A. Yo-Yo.
Okay.
B. Missy.
Okay.
Missy younger
C.
than them too.
The Brat.
I'm giving you two.
You said the first artist.
The first solo
Okay.
female rapper.
So we got. So it would probably be Yo-Yo.
Is that your final answer?
No. Okay. So you said Missy, Yo-Yo,
The
The
Brat,
Brat.
or MC Light?
definitely MC Light.
Ding, 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 ding.
God damn, it took you long enough.
Okay, last one. Last one.
Okay.
Name 3 women that are on the top 10 wealthiest musician/singer list.
Okay.
It's 4 of them.
Okay.
So you can name who you believe is on the.
Oh, I'm just naming them who I think. The
3.
wealthiest 3 is what? Okay, it would be Beyonce,
100.
Rihanna, Shakira.
100. Ding.
What?
So I know Beyonce and Rihanna. Who the other one is?
No, Rihanna, Madonna, and Celine Dion.
Nah, Beyonce gotta be on there.
Niggas ain't fuck with
I'm getting
Beyonce.
out of here.
Hey, we know. We know.
Where you get these questions? How Beyonce?
Hey, one thing I'm.
You know, when you got 2 billionaires on the elevator.
Right. Bro, listen.
Feel y'all. I felt like it was, but
And what's the other one? What's the third one name?
I always knew Rihanna was wealthier
You
than
knew wasn't
Beyonce.
nobody gonna get
'Cause
that
she
easy,
has
though.
like Fenty and all of that.
We
other stuff
knew
on.
the other person wasn't gonna get that though.
See?
Did y'all come on, y'all
Look at
back
that.
there? Did y'all know that? Did y'all
Beyonce-
know would y'all not think Beyonce?
I would think Beyonce.
Nah, I
for
would think
sure.
Beyonce too.
That should be a
I would really-
tiebreaker.
That's tough.
Okay, but you still got the other one wrong.
Oh man.
So who gotta take a shot?
So it wasn't Beyonce
You.
and Rihanna.
Yes, so Beyonce, I'll take Beyonce. Beyonce, Rihanna.
Rihanna,
But it was
1.7 billion.
Madonna, Celine Dion, and Mariah Carey.
But you know
somewhere on
what?
there,
I
too.
know you said wealthiest women, but I was in my mind. I was thinking
No,
black
it
women.
wasn't.
Fuck.
It wasn't
Hey,
actually.
let me get my mic. You say in your mind. You can't go with in your mind.
No, I'm thinking of black
time.
women. I'm thinking of.
No,
don't
actually,
know.
the question was wealthiest musicians and singers. So
Okay.
that's including
Yeah.
all the men and women too. So yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, that's why
If I was
Beyonce-
drinking.
Beyonce
I got a question for you. I'm gonna take this shot. Hold on.
Okay.
But you know, growing up to where you at, where you come from, before we end the show,
Yeah.
who are your top influencers that you look up to say, I want to get to that point?
Ah man, I love Sarah Jakes. Just because I love her story of, she had her child at 14 and her dad was a major, pastor in the church, and she was still able to, get past those things. So Sarah Jakes, I love her. If you ever watch me, I watch and listen to a lot of Sarah Jakes. Does it have to be, you said females?
No,
Okay.
It could be males too.
So Nas, Nas is a rapper. I love Nas because he just always was original, real, and he ended up being very successful coming from where he came from. But when he invested into a lot of the small businesses and invested into them new businesses, apps, and all of that, and he made a lot of money. That was really inspirational to me. And then the third person is not even a celebrity. I know you said celebrities or people.
Nah, whoever.
The third person, well, she's
long as they
really the
successful.
first person, but she's come third in line is my grandmother. Because that's who raised me, you know, and sometimes I don't even know how she did it, you know, and she took care of all of us, which was 5 of us. And we could have been.
Those are building blocks, right?
Yeah,
there.
you know, and we only know her as our mother, not even our grandmother. So I look up to her. And although she worked mostly of her life, and, you know, and that's the great thing, you know, I say people working for someone else. She worked all her life, but when she got ready to retire, you live off a certain retirement, you know, and as a working parent, it's really hard sometimes because you're not able to be the parent you want to be when you're stuck at a job all day, you know. Right. So neither here nor there, my grandmother is actually my most inspirational because sis, if you watch it, I know you're going to watch, I'm going to send her the link.
She better.
I'm going to send her the link. But yeah, man, you were really truly inspirational to me and I appreciate you. So those are some inspirational people in my life.
One more question before we leave off. Like, tell our viewers where you headed.
So we're going to start here in Houston, Texas, and then we're going to go to San Antonio. We're going to hit up Dallas. And then we're going to try to, we're working on trying to get to Atlanta, break into that market. I'm going to be going back home to Rochester, New York to do one. And then those are just the first 4 that we have right now. And then we're just going to see how the tour takes off. But I'm trusting and I'm believing in God. And if you guys don't know me, follow me on IG. My IG is IMK in the city.
Yes, sir.
You know, follow me for, you know, just inspirational quotes or just, hey, just follow your girl. You know, I'm always fly. You know, that's number 1. So, you know, follow me if you want to laugh and have a good time. Or just, you know, sometimes we just need inspirational people in our timeline. If you follow me on Facebook, it is K Elder, Kayelder. So, yes, that's where you can find me. So, I hope to see you guys at the event. March.
What about the event? What event? Give them how they can log on and buy the tickets on for the event.
So, the event is March the 26th. It's going to be downtown Houston at, I forgot the name of the hotel. But it's gonna be downtown. But you get all the information off of my social media page. Right. It's a brunch and conference, so you can come enjoy some great food.
She got food, y'all.
Yeah. Well, no, you gotta pay for your food, but it's gonna be there. It's available from 1 to 3. We're gonna have some live music there. Just a bunch of fun. Just women together, just celebrating great things. So,
and what's the date on that?
I'm gonna be also,
March 26th.
You know, for your viewers, we're giving away. We brought some tickets where they're gonna be online. We'll send them the link. So we're going to be doing a giveaway here today really quickly. Ooh. Yeah. So you guys are watching. If you're when this show airs, basically what you have to do is in the comments, give us 3 key points that was talked about today on the show. The first person that can get those. And then we're also giving away a second ticket for if you follow me and then you tag, you know, the podcast. And that's how you got the information. We're giving away that ticket. And then the third ticket we're giving away to a someone who has a birthday on March the 26th.
I got a question.
Yes.
Talking.
She said all that, but we ain't talking about it. She got a book coming up. Let's talk about the book. Before we leave, let's talk about the book.
Well, I can't really get too much information in the book because I'm still writing it.
But I want to know the release date.
I'm in the process of writing it, and so the goal is to have it released by the summer of 2022. So we will definitely keep you guys posted on that. We'll definitely even have some apparel that we're going to be launching soon for the tour. Just numerous things. So we want you guys to support, and that's our time.
I'm sorry, y'all, because. We just got a cue that they cut Reese mic off. So.
Hey, I'm done with this. I'm done with this shit.
We out. See y'all next time.
God bless y'all.